Alright my fellow agents, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as most of you know by now, we are in the middle of the end of season stretch goals event, which means it's one of the only times in the game you can actually farm for the Lexington assault rifle and the turmoil knee pads. And if you have no idea how to get those items, I'm going to leave a link to a video I posted the other day walking you through all of the details. Now with that being said, over the last few days I've been receiving messages from players who finally got their hands on this weapon. You've asked me to put together a series of builds based around it. So as we roll into the weekend, my friends, I'm going to take a few moments and highlight one of the many different builds you can put together around this thing, because in my opinion, it is easily one of the best weapons in the game. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out. And if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, starting with a specialization, I'm using Gunner. It's one of my favorite ones to use in the game, and the primary reason for that is because it gives me access to the Banshee Pulse. Now, you do have different options you can choose from. It all depends on what gear set or brand set you're going to use, but always remember, regardless of the specialization you choose, have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. Needless to say, my primary weapon for this build is the Lexington. As you've heard me mention in previous videos, this is without a doubt one of the best weapons in the game, and it is definitely worth the grind to pick up. And for this version of the build, I am using the Talent Killer, where killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 70% crit hit damage for 10 seconds, so ideally when you're farming for this weapon, you get one to drop with damage to targets out of cover as that third attribute. That way you can reroll the talent depending on what type of build you're putting together. As far as my secondary is concerned, I'm using the Rock and Roll Shotgun. Now this is a PvP exclusive. You can also get it from named caches, and we're using that to build stacks for the Striker gear set. And for those of you out there who may not have this weapon, you can use a regular ACS-12 in the meantime. That will still get the job done. As far as the handgun is concerned, I'm using the Quick Step because it has the Talent Sport mode. And with that talent, whenever you have this weapon in your hand, you're going to get an extra 20% movement speed bonus. In my opinion, this is a sidearm everyone should be running with because, again, it can cut down on time, getting from place to place, farming, all that good stuff. Just makes it, more efficient. Now moving on to the gear itself, you can see we're running 4 Striker, 1 Grupo, and the Overdog's gloves. Starting with the mask, it is the first of 4 pieces of the Striker gear set. We're running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, 4 pieces Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%. That's going to stack up to 100 times. Next we have the body armor. It's the 1 piece of Grupo. That's going to give us an extra 13% crit hit damage bonus, and we're running with the Talent Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 20 times. Next we have the holster and the knee pads, 2 more pieces of the Striker gear set. You will notice I'm stacking crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Moving on to the gloves, you can see we are using the Overdogs, and these have quickly become one of my favorite exotics to use in the game. The reason they are so effective is because of its talent weakest link. That is going to amplify weapon damage by 30% to the lowest ranking enemy currently in combat as per the tier hierarchy. And for those of you out there who may not have these gloves, I recommend switching them to a piece of Striker. Then switch your knee pads to Fox's Prayer knee pads because those do have that middle attribute, 8% damage to targets out of cover. Last but not least, my friends, we have the backpack. You can see it is the 4th and final piece of the Striker gear set, and because we are wearing a Striker bag, we have access to the talent risk management, and that is going to increase total weapon damage gained per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.65% to 0.90%. As far as my skills are concerned, I'm using one of my favorite combinations in the game. It is the Banshee Pulse and the Crusader Shield. Finally, when we take a look at the numbers, you can see I'm sitting at 55.7 crit hit chance, 127.9 crit hit damage. Remember, those numbers are going to be dependent on not only the gear I have equipped, but having a Shade Watch of level 1000. And one final note really quick is I want to point out, you will notice in the gameplay footage I do not have any global modifiers running whatsoever. The reason for that is simple. I want to ensure that whenever you see this video, you know exactly what the build can do without any special events going on. Hope this video helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and a few final thoughts. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. How is everyone doing today? What are your plans this weekend? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going camping with the family. We're just going to unplug for a few days. You know what I mean? Just, yeah, enjoy doing that. Anyway, this is easily one of my favorite builds to use based around the Lexington. And the great thing about this weapon, and I know I said this in the video, you have so many different builds you can use around this thing because you have the ability to swap out that talent to something else. You know, I posted a video the other day, a Heartbreaker build, where I was using the talent Flatline, and again, you have so many different combinations. And with that being said, do me a favor, let me know in the comments section, what is your favorite combination based around the Lexington? I'd love to hear it. I hope you are having good luck trying to get this weapon. I know I said this in the video as well. It can be a grind without a doubt, but it is definitely worth it. I think that's all I got for this thing, my friends. We're loading up the car right now. I'm supposed to be, you know, helping, but I wanted to make this video for you, my wonderful Division family. That's all I got for this one, my friends. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.
Detected.
I've got you in my sight.
Detecting additional.
Hostiles are moving into Foggy Bottom.
Hostiles detected. Reinforcements incoming. Detecting additional hostile contacts. Detected.
Bringing pizzas.
Supply room access
You're an
unlocked.
inspiration to folks around here.
Hey there.